In this video, I will present to you a selection of the best tablets according to performance and price. So, if you are undecided between which product to choose for yourself or for your children, here you can find a little help. Obviously, those you find in the video are just some tips and a track to follow to give you an idea of what should be the characteristics necessary to have a product that allows you to reach your goal in peace. All siblings and specific alternatives are still valid. HUAWEI MatePad 11 adopts a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 processor and a perfectly symmetrical design where the frame is of equal thickness on all four sides. The hole for the front camera is inserted inside the frame. The display is a 10.95-inch LCD, with a 120Hz panel and a resolution of 2560 by 1600 pixels. The possibility of use throughout the day without straining the eyes is guaranteed by the TV Rhineland low blue light and flicker-free certifications. In the basic version there are 6 GB of RAM and 64 GB of memory, while in the more complete version there are 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of memory. The storage is expandable via microSD up to a maximum of 1 TB, while there are currently no versions with support for cellular connectivity. From the audio point of view, we find a 4-speaker system optimized in collaboration with Harman Kardon and 4 microphones. There are 2 cameras, one on the back with a 13-megapixel sensor and f/1.8 lens, the other is already mentioned in a frame on the front with an 8-megapixel sensor and f/2.0 lens. There is no 3.5mm audio jack, while on the connectivity front are compatible Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.1 and GPS. The battery is 7,250 mAh with 22.5 watt charging support and is capable of recharging external devices, albeit at only 5 watts. HUAWEI declares an autonomy of 12 hours of work, 12 hours of video playback and 10 hours of web browsing. The MatePad 11 compatible devices include the HUAWEI Smart Magnetic Keyboard, as well as M-Pencil and even a Bluetooth mouse. Its selling price is €384. Lenovo Tab P11 5G is just 7.9mm thin and weighs 520 grams, which is still a reasonable weight for a product of this size. It is made of plastic on the back while the side shell is in metal. From the hardware point of view, Lenovo Tab P11 5G has a 2.2 GHz octa-core Snapdragon 750G processor with Adreno 619 GPU and 6 or 8 GB of LPDDR4 RAM. The internal memory amounts to 128 or 256 GB respectively, but expandable via microSD. Connectivity includes 5G for out-of-home connectivity and also Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.1. A device therefore above average from this point of view. We also have the USB-C 3.2 port, but not the 3.5mm audio jack. The audio is provided by 4 speakers made together with JBL, which are powerful and crystal clear. For unlocking there is the one with the 2D face, but not a fingerprint reader. The tablet is then equipped with a 13-megapixel main camera and an 8-megapixel front, sufficient for the type of product. Lenovo Tab P11 5G has an 11-inch screen at its disposal, as the name already understands. This is a good 2K resolution IPS LCD panel. The screen has a maximum brightness of 400 nits. However, it supports Dolby Vision technology for HDR and the panel has a 60 Hz refresh rate. This tablet has a large 7,700 mAh battery available. With an average use you can use it a couple of days of mixed use. Obviously, including a SIM with 4G or 5G connectivity will lower the autonomy of the product. There is also 20-watt fast charging. Its selling price is €499. The iPad Air's design is clean, Apple-style, and absolutely pleasing to the eye. The thickness of only 6.1 millimeters and the weight of 462 grams in the heavier version make it comfortable to carry. The display is 10.9-inch diagonal liquid retina IPS with a resolution of 2360 by 1640 pixels, a density of 264 pixel per inch and 500 nits of brightness. The 12-megapixel front camera has an ultra-wide lens and center stage technology has been added, which solves the problem of positioning the selfie camera itself, being on one of the two short sides. The main camera has a 12-megapixel resolution with wide sensor, f/1.8 aperture lens and autofocus. There is also optical stabilization and HDR is also supported. Inside we find the Apple Silicon M1, which has 4 cores, and which, compared to the previous model, offers a slightly higher operating frequency per single core and doubles the performance in terms of GPU. In addition, this iPad Air 5 has 8GB of RAM and 256GB of memory. There is also Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.0, and 5G connectivity. iPad Air supports SIM cards in nano format, but we also have the possibility of using an eSIM. The battery has a capacity of 28 watt-hours, which are sufficient, with the typical use of a tablet, to reach a couple of days of fairly intense use. In the package we find the classic USB-C cable and the 20-watt charger that fully recharges the tablet in about a couple of hours. iPad Air is also compatible with the second-generation Apple Pencil, which is fully supported, and with the Magic Keyboard. Its selling price is €699. Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra is 5.5mm thick and weighs 728 grams, which in addition to the cover and keyboard become comparable to the size and weight of a notebook. The display is 14.6 inches, Super AMOLED with 1848 by 2960 pixel resolution, 240 pixels per inch, 120 Hz refresh rate and brightness, always high enough to use it comfortably, even outdoors. The processor is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 with Adreno 730 GPU, 12/16GB of RAM and 256/512GB of UFS 3.1 internal memory expandable via microSD. The rear camera compartment consists of a 13-megapixel main camera plus a 6-megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera with a 120-degree field of view. In front, however, we find a main 12-megapixel camera and a 12-megapixel ultra-wide-angle lens with a 120-degree field of view. The audio comes out from 4 speakers, so it is stereo, and has excellent quality, including bass, as well as a really high volume. Its battery has a capacity of 11,200 mAh and allows you to close a truly productive day, with intense use of the tablet, without too many problems and with some battery residue. In the case of a more typical use of a tablet, it is possible to overcome not only the day but also several days, and it is certainly an advantage for users who often find themselves using the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra on the go. The S8 Ultra tablet supports charging via cable up to 45 watts and can fully charge the battery in about an hour and a half, a good result especially for the amount of battery present. Its selling price is €1,157. iPad Pro is 6.4mm thick and weighs 684 grams. It is very rigid, and despite its large dimensions it never seems to want to give in to twisting. In addition, the metal used is 100% recycled aluminum. The camera module is slightly protruding, a defect that is however not very annoying in this model. The processor is Apple M1 at 5nm and can be purchased in memory sizes of 128, 256 or 512 GB with associated 8 GB of RAM, or with 1 or 2 TB of memory and 12 GB of RAM. Connectivity includes Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.0, and USB 4, Thunderbolt, port. Furthermore, by purchasing the cellular model you have compatibility with 5G networks, not only via Nano SIM, but also with eSIM. This variant is also equipped with GPS. The audio jack is missing, but the excellent biometric unlocking with Face ID 3D is still present. The photographic sector includes a 12-megapixel main sensor with f/1.8 focal aperture, a 10-megapixel wide-angle sensor with f/2.4 focal aperture and a TOF sensor. The front camera is a 12-megapixel wide-angle camera, capable of automatically framing the subject involved in any video call. iPad Pro is equipped with a mini LED LCD screen, which offers a performance similar to AMOLED. The screen also has a 120Hz variable refresh rate, a resolution of 2048 by 2732 pixels, a density of 265 pixels per inch and full support for HDR10. The non-removable battery of this device is 9720 mAh, guarantees an all-day long use, for a total of about 10 hours of use, and its recharge takes place at 18 watts. Its selling price is €1,085. If you are interested in one of the products on this list, you can find the link and the updated price in the description. If you found this video useful and want more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching this video and see you soon with a new tech video.